Welcome back. The National Office of Child and Family Services, in partnership with UNICEF, conducted a week-long training for government child protection officers. More than 50 officers attended the training to equip them to address issues on children's rights. Community Development Secretary Anna Solomon encouraged the officers to be creative in developing mechanisms when addressing the issue. Kevin Dayonga reports.
The advent of new technologies, particularly mobile phones and internet access, are also bringing new opportunities and risks. The child protection system in Papua New Guinea suffers from a number of barriers. Capacity and resources to support families and children at risk are limited, with low funding and lack of human resources in place to provide services to those in need. After the government passed a new child protection law in 2015, not so much has been done to address children's issues and rights. During the closing ceremony of the child protection training conducted by the Department of Community Development and UNICEF, Secretary for Community Development Anna Solomon said the issues surrounding child rights is immense. More officers need to be equipped to address any case.
Do whatever you can, even if your province or district is not supporting you well. Use some initiatives that will invite us at the national level to visit you so that we can bring together your provincial leaders and your district leaders. We have to be smarter in the way we want to advocate.
The training looked at child protection systems to effectively prevent and respond to all forms of violence, abuse, exploitation and neglect of children. It also looked at improving access to justice through policy support, training and capacity building, and targeting delivery of core protection services. A participant from the Autonomous Region of Bougainville says with the knowledge attained from the training, he is sure to handle his cases well, but called for a holistic approach to address all kinds of issues surrounding the matter.
Definitely we will do our best to assist our children according to the act that has been provided to us. We also call upon the different agencies, partners that are here. In whatever manner you can assist this strategy and the workforce.
This important training will improve and raise the standards of government's continuous effort in child protection in the country, says Secretary Solomon. Kevin Dayonga, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
Authorities dealing with leaders in Papua New Guinea must be impartial, rational and fair in discharging their official duties. Maprik MP John Simon said this when reacting to last week's media reports that he was being referred to the public prosecutor for alleged misconduct in office. In a media statement released today, the Maprik MP stated that he was surprised to learn about his referral by the Ombudsman Commission to the public prosecutor in the media. He said he was unaware of the allegations giving rise to his referral, as he was yet to see the notice of referral from the Ombudsman Commission. He believes that the allegations for his referral may be the same allegations raised and fully dealt with in 2 earlier court cases against him, which he successfully defended. Mr. Simon also called on the people with vested complainants to stop and come out in 2017 to challenge him rather than hiding behind the system and using it to destroy him. He described the continuous court cases against him as distracting factors, which were of no good to anyone nor the interest of his people. Students taking up information communication technology courses with the Institute of Business Studies will have access to proper practical material used for software programming. This was made possible through a Memorandum of Agreement partnership between IBS and Rural Tech Development Limited. This project will enhance students' learning capacity in software programming and ICT. Kashmir Wakin reports.
Under this partnership between IBS and Rural Technology Development Limited, students taking up information communication technology studies will have access to robotic materials to carry out practical software programming on.
We are actually interested with his work, as well as especially on the robotic, and he tried to do something new to the Papua New Guinea to improve the quality of this student.
Founder of Rural Tech Development, Sharem Hanuzad says the collaboration with IBS is an enhancement of theory, where the students are involved in the practical side of creating technology.
What I'm trying to promote, we have to be involved in making the technology too. Okay, we should not just become the consumer of the technologies. And this can be anything, as far as the mobile or gaming, or as far as you name it, even industrial. Okay, I think in PNG we have enough talent. And
IBS IT manager Asanka Diaz says this program will help enhance PNG students excel in software programming and in the long run find employment in any part of the world.
When the students is trying to do their own robotic equipment and robotic programming, it's automatically the knowledge limit going to be increased, and once they've been graduated, they can go to anywhere and area of the world and found a job, as well as, like, what you may mention on here, like, they can go to any schools and even try to do anything.
Keshme Waken, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
Overseas, it's been 2 months since Australians went to the elections, and this week their federal politicians are finally returning to Canberra. The stage is set for some fierce debate as a rage of new and old faces take their place on Capitol Hill, and Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull tries to keep the whole show running.
Very excited, very honoured.
I'm happy to sit down with anyone.
Just like any share house, this place has a few new housemates this week, and it's likely to make the 45th Parliament very, very interesting. The government controls 76 votes in the House of Representatives, a majority of just one. It'll only take a single grumpy Liberal or National MP to cross the floor and leave the government very red-faced. An early opportunity for that sort of threat to arise could be the government's planned changes to superannuation tax concessions for high-income earners.
The good government...
At least one coalition backbencher has threatened to cross the floor, meaning the PM will need to get at least one of 5 crossbenchers on board to avoid embarrassment. The upper house is an even more fascinating prospect. The double dissolution election was meant to help clear out an unruly bunch of crossbenchers. The problem is the crossbenchers grown from 8 members to 11. On top of the 9 Green senators, there's now 4 members of Pauline Hanson's One Nation party, including the party namesake. A trio of Southerners will represent the Nick Xenophon team, all from South Australia. Family First Bob Day, Liberal Democrat David Lionhelm and Tasmania's Jackie Lambie have all survived an attempt on their political lives. And now, the human headline, Darren Hinch, is also in the mix. The government has 30 votes in the Senate. It needs to secure the support of another 9 members if it has any chance of passing legislation. That's certain to liven up debate on the bill that sent the nation to an early poll, reintroducing the Australian Building and Construction Commission. It also looks like there'll be more attempts to ease restrictions on freedom of speech, with calls to water down the Racial Discrimination Act. And remember those raids on Labor offices and Parliament House over leaked NBN documents? The opposition's claimed parliamentary privilege on those, and they've been locked up in the Senate, awaiting the return of Parliament to decide their fate ever since. We know the big banks will be hauled before a House committee for a Please Explain, an attempt by the government to stave off Labor's call for a royal commission. And the government wants to change the Fair Work Act to protect volunteers in the wake of the Country Fire Association dispute in Victoria. Throw in the ongoing debate on a same-sex marriage plebiscite and constitutional recognition for Indigenous Australians, and it's already a full agenda for the new team on Capitol Hill.
Stay with us on NBC National News.